August 1st, 2007, Minneapolis, Minnesota. A young woman named Julia Blackhawk was driving home from her cosmetology classes. She was a 32-year-old mother of two small children and excited to be taking these classes. But as she drove home that evening, the bridge over the Mississippi River collapsed beneath her while she was crossing it. 145 people were injured, 13 were killed, and sadly, Julia was one of them. Her husband was quoted by the local press saying, "God can be so cruel sometimes." And to some people, it seems that way, doesn't it? A good person, a young woman with two little kids, and the rest of her life ahead of her. And her life ends in a freak accident, and it wasn't even her fault. If she left just 2 minutes later or earlier, she'd still be alive today, and those two little children would have their mommy. After hearing a story like this, many people ask, where was God?
I hadn't been such an idiot in college, I wouldn't have a past to run from.
At one point or another, we may all experience some kind of loss. The death of a loved one, breakdown of a relationship, loss of employment, or even a dream. And here's what's interesting. We live in a consumer society, and the grand narrative is all about getting as much as you can. More money, more followers, more stuff. But when it comes to loss, most of us have no idea how to deal with it. In fact, the Grief Recovery Handbook says this: while we have learned much about acquiring things, we have precious little accurate information on what to do when we lose them. Grief is messy. It doesn't follow a formula. One of the most common responses to grief is actually anger, and sometimes it's actually anger at God, like Julia's husband, who said, "God can be just so cruel sometimes." In philosophy and theology, there's a concept called theodicy, which means the justice of God. The classic form of the problem argues, number one, a good God would want to remove evil. Number two, an all-powerful God would be able to remove evil. Number three, evil exists. Therefore, some conclude that God cannot exist, or at least not in the way the Bible describes him. This argument appears in the writings of ancient philosophers like Epicurus, and even in modern thinkers such as David Hume. The late Steve Jobs wrestled with this as well. At age 13, he saw the cover of Life magazine, which showed starving children in Africa. He went and asked his pastor, "Does God know about this? Could he stop it? But then why doesn't he?" And look, the pastor did his best to answer all of his questions, but it wasn't good enough. Some say Steve Jobs left church for good that day over that incident. And maybe you've experienced loss and you're asking the same kind of questions. Well, what if there's a different story? One that makes sense of all this. Not one that dismisses the pain, but one that explains where it comes from and offers hope that this isn't how the story ends.
Good year.
Good morning to you. Donation for refugee. Sign here.
Good morning. I work here.
Yeah, and? If you have a problem, talk to Donald. Come on, don't look so serious. It's charity. Do your part and make us look good. I'm late for school.
I am not your charity case, okay?
Cute, or whatever.
Jose, got something for you. I need you to sign these.
Sure. Just let me check first, okay?
They're an old supplier. I use them all the time. What are you doing, man? Just sign this stupid paper. Stop wasting my time. Why you gotta make such a simple thing so complicated? You're always the problem, Jose. Always you.
Most of us grew up learning about the Big Bang Theory, that life is just random chance. And if that story is true, then when tragedy strikes, there really is no real answers. Maybe it's just bad luck. The biblical story offers a different narrative, one that helps us understand why terrible things happen. The biblical story starts very differently, actually. It begins with intention, with purpose, with a creator who had a plan. God created everything over 6 days and called it very good. And so if God created everything good, why is the world such a mess today? Jesus told a story that helps us understand this. It's about a farmer who planted good seed in his field. But while everyone slept, an enemy planted weeds among the wheat. Time passed, and when the workers noticed something was wrong, they reported it to the farmer. They came to the farmer and said, "Sir, the field where you planted the good seed is full of weeds. Where did they come from?" Even though the farmer had planted only good seed, it became clear that both good and bad were growing together in that field. So where did the weeds come from? The farmer answered, "An enemy has done this." Look, the farmer wasn't responsible for the bad seed. Someone else was. In this story, Jesus is that good farmer who only planted good. And someone else, an enemy, came in and sowed the bad seed. So who is the enemy? The Bible actually pulls back the curtain and shows us a story that happened before our story even began. A long time ago, there was an angel named Lucifer. He was created good, just like everything else God made. In fact, he was described as a mighty angelic guardian. He had access to the very presence of God. He was perfect until something changed. The Bible says that pride and envy began to rise in his heart. He started to think, why should I serve God? Why shouldn't I be the one in charge? I will ascend. I will exalt my throne above God's. I will make myself like the Most High. It's hard for us to wrap our minds around this. I mean, how does a perfect being in such a perfect place, how does he choose evil? But Lucifer allowed pride to consume him so much that he wanted to be even greater than God himself. And what was the result? Well, it says that there was war in heaven. Jesus and his angels fought against Lucifer and his angels and won. Lucifer was forced out of heaven, but he wasn't just thrown out, he was cast down to our world, to this earth. And then back in Genesis, it tells us what happened when he came to this earth. He appeared to Eve as a serpent and asked her a question. Did God really say you must not eat the fruit from any of the trees of the garden? This was a very subtle question, a clever question to plant doubt in her mind about God's motives. Well, after a short conversation, the woman was convinced. She saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruit looked delicious, and she wanted the wisdom it would give her. And so she took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it too. God had given clear instructions to Adam and Eve, the first humans, not to eat the fruit from the one tree in the garden. Just one tree. Everything else was theirs. But Lucifer came and deceived them. He told them lies about who God was. He twisted the truth and changed the story. And when Adam sinned, sin entered the world. Adam's sin brought death. So death spread to everyone, for everyone sinned. That's why the world is broken. That's why we experience loss and grief. That's why there's pain and suffering. Not because God is cruel, but because an enemy has done this. Now you might be thinking, well, why didn't God just do something about it right at the beginning? Why didn't he just stop it from happening in the first place? Wait a minute. Why even put a tree in the garden at all? That's a great question. To answer that, I want to first share with you the Bible's definition of God. It says God is love in 1 John 4, verse 8. And because God is love, he gave us the greatest gift he could give us, the freedom to choose. God values freedom of choice. Because if you don't have choice, you can't have love. Love must be voluntary to be authentic. And that was a little risky, wasn't it? Because we might make the choice not to love him back. So why would he take the risk? It's the same reason why a child would choose a real puppy over a toy one. Even though there's a risk that that puppy will chew on the furniture and bark in the middle of the night. It's the same reason why parents want to have children. Even though the baby will come with mistakes and they might draw all over the walls with crayons, and one day we'll leave home and start life without you. We take these risks because of the possibility that they will love us back. And it will be their choice. But just like grief, love can be messy sometimes. But it's worth the risk, isn't it? So here's what the biblical story is telling us. The brokenness we see in the world isn't random chaos. It's not God being cruel. It's evidence of a deeper conflict, a battle between good and evil, between God and Lucifer, otherwise known as Satan, the devil. And we're caught right in the middle of it. But there's hope, because that's not the end of the story.
Come on. That's Donald stuff. Best not to get too curious.
But it's that.
Oh, I'm family business.
Family business is not make it right.
You planted on John Pierre?
Another than a race of food.
Gotta be the fastest ticket home I've ever seen. Emma handles the books. Orders what Donald asks her. She's what you call a true Nepo baby. They're family. You're not.
She's screwed for life. A baby's already rough. A baby with Josh? Ew. Right? Including Xbox. Hey, I gotta go. Bye. Hey, stranger.
Hi. There were some deliveries today.
What's up?
Only half of the invoiced items were delivered.
Shoot. He made you sign it? Okay, fine. I'll pass it on to Pierre, but are you sure they want to do that?
I only want to do what is right.
Well, what is right is gonna poke a lot of people here.
Look, it's their money. Not mine, not yours. I'm off to college and I won't come back. You, on the other hand, have a lot more to lose.
If you hide the truth, you share the sin.
You really think you're some kind of hero, don't you?
Look, lady, before answering to any man, I answer to God.
Well, it's your funeral.
So here's the good news. In this story Jesus was telling earlier about the farmer, after saying an enemy has done this, the workers asked, should we pull out the weeds? No, he replied. You'll uproot the wheat if you do. Let both grow together until the harvest. Wait, what harvest? Jesus is telling us that in this story, there's a plan. Like the farmer, Jesus has a plan to sort all things out. He said, don't let your hearts be troubled. There is more than enough room in my Father's home. If this were not so, would I have told you that I am going to prepare a place for you? When everything is ready, I will come and get you, so that you will always be with me where I am. Isn't that great news? One day soon, God will make all things right. But in the meantime, He doesn't just leave us hanging. He promises His peace to comfort us even in our darkest moments. A few years ago, I was going through a book for my daughter. Every night before she went to bed, we would read a special book. It was our routine. The book we went through at that time was C.S. Lewis's The Horse and His Boy. It's part of the Chronicles of Narnia series, which was written to tell the story of the Bible to kids. In it, there's a young boy named Shasta who escapes bondage and discovers a plot to overthrow a northern kingdom. And so he races to warn the king, joined by a girl named Aravis. The journey is hard. A lion chases them. They nearly die in the desert, but they just make it in time. Near the end of the journey, it's nighttime. Shasta gets separated from his horse and from Aravis. He is all alone in the dark in the mountains, walking on the edge of a cliff that he can't even see. And he has a moment where he breaks down. He's crying because he's all alone, he's hungry, and he doesn't know where to go. But just then, in the dark, he hears something. It's like there's something breathing, walking beside him on the path. And as the light begins to dawn, he realizes it isn't a person, but a lion that's as tall as a horse. It's Aslan. Aslan is the character that represents God in the book. Aslan says to him, I was the lion who forced you to join with Aravis. I was the cat who comforted you among the houses of the dead. I was the lion who drove the jackals from you while you slept. I was the lion who gave the horses the new strength of fear for the last mile so that you should reach King Loon in time. And I was the lion you do not remember, who pushed the boat in which you lay, a child near death, so that it came to shore where a man sat, wakeful at midnight to receive you. It ends by saying one of my favorite lines in the entire book. Shasta was no longer afraid. Shasta wasn't afraid because he knew the king was walking beside him. That he was always there, even from his birth. And that's encouraging because whatever you're going through right now, you can hold on to the fact that in Jesus' version of your story, you don't walk alone. In his story, the king walks beside you.
It was Jose who signed those papers, okay? I didn't do anything.
Don't lie to me. I'm sick of your excuses.
I'm the manager here.
Tampering invoices?
Look, I paid for it with my personal credit card. I do it all the time. I need to be reimbursed.
I gave you chances nobody ever gave me. You blow off school, you can't keep steady work, and you steal from me? That's the final straw. Not your ATM or taking that anymore.
Everybody knows John wants me scamming. Too lazy even to steal properly. You knew Donald was pocketing money. He never corrected him. He's just embarrassed that others found out. Do not enter the path of the wicked, and do not proceed in the way of evil men. I memorized that one. Donald hates when people make him look bad. And Peter will always protect his appearance before the truth.
I am done with silence. I have seen it ruin people's lives.
No, I didn't say that. I said, be careful. There is a difference. May God always be in your life. Good night, Jose.
Good night, Edna. Have a nice rest.
Rest. Now I will take care of my own house.
Here's my question for you. How have you dealt with grief and loss in your life? Here's one practical step you can take when you're going through loss, when you're walking through that dark valley. Remember that you're not alone. Pay attention to where God might be showing up in your story, even in the small things. Sometimes the first step toward hope is simply recognizing that the King is walking beside you. If you want to explore this topic further, we've created an interactive guide to help you understand what the Bible says about this great conflict between good and evil. Just follow the link in this video.
Tranquilo, mi amor, tranquilo, tranquilo, tranquilo. Ya está. Vámonos. Vamos.
Hey,
Vamos, mi rey.
I'm heading to town. Just gotta get away from this manure pit. How do you feel about maybe watching a movie later?
I don't mean no disrespect, Emma, but I'm here to work, not to fool around. Vamos.
Fine,
Oh,
if you're
baby.
serious. Whatever. You know, not everything is about work. Sometimes people just want company.
I'm sorry, but I am not here for company. Vamos. Muy bien, muy bien. Muy bien, mi amor. Let's go through here, okay? Vamos. Muy bien.
Suit yourself.
The brokenness you see in the world around you isn't random chaos. It's evidence of a battle between light and darkness, between God and Satan, and it's a battle for your heart. This is your invitation to discover a different story. God is writing a better story for you, one where evil doesn't win, one where love does, one where one day soon all things are going to be made right.
A better story for me, written by the one who set me free, and he invites me to live in his grace and victory. There is more to life, 'cause Jesus is my peace.
You know, I'd almost given up on taking you out.
Lucky for you, I changed my mind.
What happened? Farm boy didn't ask you out?
Shut up and drive.
A better story for me, written by the one who sets me free. He invites me
wisdom to be quiet.
Earlier, I mentioned Hope Study as a resource for this series, but if you've been wondering what the Bible says about other topics like purpose, transformation, suffering, death, or even prophecy, Hope Study is designed to help you on your journey of discovery. Hope Study offers interactive and engaging guides that walk you through what the Bible teaches about the topics people are most curious about. Use the link on your screen to access the Hope Study platform and begin exploring the guides at your own pace. Whether you're exploring faith for the first time or you've been on this journey for years, these studies are meant for you. Some of the most compelling stories aren't found in books or movies. They're actually lived out by people in your community. Canadians who have faced the same struggles you have. Hope Channel Canada exists to share the good news that Jesus is inviting them into a better story. But we can't do this alone. And that's why I'm asking you to become an agent of hope. When you become an agent of hope, you're helping us reach people with the life-changing message of hope that there is a better story for them. We need your prayers. We need you to share this content with your friends, and we need your financial support. Visit the link on your screen to partner with Hope Channel Canada and the mission of spreading hope across Canada. God bless, and thank you for your support.